So James, today I'm going to teach you about sarcasm and irony. I understand that sometimes you think that people are making fun of you whenever they're speaking to you, but really they're just being sarcastic. And so I'm going to teach you what that is to avoid any problems that you may think people are making fun of you. So irony is a figure of speech in which what is said is the opposite of what is meant. So if I say hot, I'd actually mean cold. Stuff like that. Sarcasm is a form of irony. You are saying the opposite of what you actually mean. So I'm going to show you a few comic strips, some illustrations that show irony and sarcasm. So this is a picture of Charlie Brown, and Snoopy is on it. Charlie Brown says, "Snoopy looks kind of cold, doesn't he?" And Charlie Brown's friend says, "I'll say he does. Maybe we'd better go over and comfort him." So the boys both walk over, and the one boy says, "Be of good cheer, Snoopy." And Charlie replies with, "Yes, be of good cheer." And then they walk away, and Snoopy's confused. When they meant comfort him, they meant like keep him warm, but because they were doing an idiom here, they chose comfort as in say words of encouragement. So instead they say be of good cheer, cheer up. So that's an example of an idiom. Or irony. That's an example of irony. So this is a picture right here of a boy who is standing in the rain, and he says, "What lovely weather." Do you think he's being serious that it's lovely weather? No, that's an example of irony. This girl right here, she says, "What did the dog say to the tree?" What did the dog say to the tree? Bark. Bark. Do you get it? She wasn't really saying bark like woof woof. She was saying bark like as in tree bark. So that's a figure of speech in which what is said is the opposite of what is actually meant. A form of sarcasm is when people say, "I hate when people see me at the supermarket and are like, 'Hey, what are you doing here?' And I'm just like, 'Oh, you know, hunting for elephants.'" Because what would you be doing at the supermarket? Would you be hunting for elephants?
No.
No, you'd be shopping. So they said that because they're being sarcastic. We're going to act one of these strips out together, okay? And you can read the mom's part, and I'll read the son's part, okay?
Just text me if you go anywhere besides John's house.
"Mom, that is totally unreasonable. How would you like me to text you every time you went somewhere?"
Good idea, I'll start tomorrow.
That was sarcasm, not a suggestion. So in this comic strip, the boy is trying to say, "How do you like me texting you every time I go somewhere?" And so the boy is like, "Why don't you start texting me every time you go somewhere?" He was being sarcastic, but instead of the mom taking it as sarcasm, she took it as him being literal. And so she's like, "Okay, I'll start texting you every time I go somewhere." So do you understand what irony and what sarcasm is?
Yes.
Okay, what is irony?
A figure of speech in which what is said is the opposite of what is meant.
Okay, very good.